I made 300 shilling a month as an apprentice.
What if the strongest man in the world was also one of the most broken? Behind the muscles, the fame, and the unforgettable line, "I'll be back," lies a story of pain, love, and redemption. Arnold Schwarzenegger, the action hero we all knew, lived a life far more dramatic than any movie he ever starred in. From a war-torn childhood in Austria to the bright lights of Hollywood and the dark corners of family secrets, Arnold's journey is one of extraordinary transformation. He built an empire with his body, but it's the battles within that truly shaped the man he became. How has Arnold Schwarzenegger inspired you? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your reflections on this incredible and complicated life story. Arnold Schwarzenegger was born in 1947 in a small, battered village in post-war Austria. His father, Gustav, was a strict police chief shaped by the horrors of World War II. Home wasn't a refuge, it was a battlefield of fear and survival. While most kids played, Arnold was doing hundreds of sit-ups and push-ups every morning just to earn breakfast. He and his older brother Minhard weren't just siblings, they were rivals in a house where affection was a prize to be won. When their father drank, the violence escalated. Arnold internalized the pain, channeled it into iron discipline. But Minhard, more sensitive and quiet, struggled with the emotional weight. At just 24, Minhard died in a tragic drunk driving accident, a loss that Arnold carried like a scar, even as the world saw only his strength. That brutal upbringing could have crushed him. But Arnold didn't crumble. He turned every scream, every scar, every moment of rejection into fuel. While others accepted survival, he aimed for transformation. He wouldn't just escape his past, he would overpower it. At 14, Arnold discovered a new kind of power, not in words or fists, but in weightlifting. The first time he walked into a gym, he was mesmerized by the sculpted bodies and raw strength. It was a sanctuary, one where discipline and pain turned into progress. He trained obsessively, reading every magazine, mimicking every move, pushing himself beyond exhaustion. He wasn't just building muscles, he was building a way out. By the age of 20, Arnold had already conquered Europe's bodybuilding world. He became the youngest Mr. Universe, a title that felt like a ticket to freedom. But even as he stood on podiums with trophies, he carried the weight of family guilt. He didn't attend Minhard's funeral, a choice many judged, but Arnold admitted why. "What made me strong destroyed him." That contrast haunted him. Arnold's path wasn't just about glory. It was about escape, identity, and healing through mastery. He transformed every ounce of childhood pain into ambition. His body became a symbol, not just of strength, but of survival. In every flex, every pose, there was a silent message. "I made it out. I didn't break." By the late 1990s, Arnold seemed to have it all: Hollywood success, political ambition, and a marriage into America's most iconic family. Maria Shriver stood beside him, a symbol of unity between power and grace. Together, they built what looked like an unshakable legacy. But behind closed doors, Arnold was living with a secret so painful, it would eventually destroy everything they built together. In 1997, while Maria was pregnant with their fourth child, Arnold began an affair with their longtime housekeeper, Mildred Baena. What made it more devastating was the timing. Just 5 days after Maria gave birth to their son, Mildred gave birth to Arnold's secret child, Joseph. Both women had been under the same roof, both carrying his children, and no one knew. For 14 years, Arnold kept it hidden. The boy grew up, looking more and more like him, but still, no one spoke the truth. It wasn't until a couple's therapy session in 2011 that the truth shattered their family. When the therapist asked if he had fathered a child with the housekeeper, Arnold said the words that would end his marriage. "Yes, Joseph is my son." Maria didn't scream. She didn't cry. But everything broke. A family once seen as royalty was now fractured beyond repair, not by a scandal, but by a father's deepest regret. When the world found out about Joseph Baena, he was just 13. Overnight, the boy became international tabloid material, not by choice, but by the consequences of his father's silence. Joseph and his mother fled their home in Bakersfield, trying to escape the glare of the cameras and the weight of public judgment. He was still learning who he was, and now, the world had already made up its mind. Though the scandal had broken a marriage and shocked a nation, Arnold made a quiet promise to never let Joseph feel unwanted. They bonded through fitness, discipline, and time, building a father-son relationship brick by brick. Arnold praised him publicly, attended events, and made space in his life for the child once hidden in the shadows. But healing takes more than time. It takes forgiveness, and sometimes that forgiveness comes in silence. Joseph grew up carrying a last name that wasn't Schwarzenegger, but still bore the face of the man who created him. Despite the emotional distance from his half-siblings, Joseph carved his own path. Real estate, acting, a magazine cover, even dancing with the stars. Each step forward was more than a career move. It was a quiet act of courage, a statement. I am more than a secret. I am worthy of being seen. Arnold Schwarzenegger's story isn't just about fame, strength, or success. It's about what we do after we've made our worst mistakes. Behind the action hero is a man who faced the collapse of his family, the shame of public scandals, and the pain of watching his children grow apart. He admits it openly now. This is my biggest failure. And maybe that's where true strength begins, with accountability. Even after all the damage, Arnold still shows up for his children. He celebrates them, supports Joseph, and honors Maria's place in his life. Redemption isn't loud. It's often quiet, steady, and imperfect. And while not every wound can be healed, every day offers a choice to be better than the day before. What lessons can we learn from Arnold's story? Maybe it's this. No matter how far we rise, we're still human. And in our deepest regrets, we find the clearest truth. If this story touched you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful journeys that remind us what it means to be human.